Today on SVG News, this PS5 Cyberpunk revelation is most definitely not breathtaking. But first, Xbox might have something big up its sleeve for this year's Game Awards.
What is it? What is it?
The wait for the Game Awards 2020 is finally coming to an end. On Thursday, December 10th, host Jeff Keighley will hand out accolades to this year's best games across a multitude of categories, including the coveted Game of the Year award. Plus, as always, the event will double as a hub for huge announcements about upcoming game releases, major game updates, and other news from the gaming industry. Last year, Microsoft was one of many gaming giants to step up with huge news regarding its latest console. Is the Xbox developer going to drop another bomb this year? As fans may recall, during the Game Awards 2019, Microsoft completely surprised viewers with a full-on reveal of the new Xbox Series X, formerly known as Project Scarlet. In addition to revealing the console's real name, Microsoft actually gave a glimpse of the hardware just under a full year before its official release, as well as some of the new Xbox console's initial specs. Fast forward to 1 year later, Xbox Series X and S have now been on the market for a month. The consoles have done so well that Microsoft has experienced major shortages. What more could Microsoft have to announce? It turns out Microsoft may have something up its sleeve. According to proven industry source Jeffrey Grubb of GamesBeat,
I know that Microsoft has something coming to the Game Awards. I know that much.
Although this may not hint at anything major, Microsoft also did mention this year's award show in a recent Xbox Game Pass announcement, where it ended the post with, quote, "See you at the Game Awards, friends." Plus, Xbox has been adamant on Twitter about encouraging fans to tune in to the show. There are a few substantial things that Microsoft could announce on Thursday. Fans have been hoping to hear more from Xbox's new studio, The Initiative, which began hiring last year, but never provided insight on what projects it was working on. There's also potential for an announcement regarding Xbox's cloud gaming service, which is part of its Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Microsoft head Phil Spencer did tease recently that he sees a brighter future for Xbox cloud gaming. At this time, there's no telling what Microsoft has in store for the Game Awards 2020, but it seems like something is coming. Tune in on December 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern to find out. Next up, think your PS4 copy of Cyberpunk 2077 is a definitive version? Well...
Wake the f*** up, samurai.
In 2013, CD Projekt Red teased Cyberpunk 2077. Nearly a decade and one newborn console generation later, the game will finally release. Will it be worth the wait? Most critics seem to think so. While the game might be short compared to CD Projekt Red's previous outing, The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, it reportedly offers a ton of replayability that will keep players engrossed for hours. Unfortunately, not all experiences may be created equal, especially if you bought one of the console versions.
Disappointed!
The site VGC, aka Video Games Chronicle, was one of many outlets to receive early review copies of Cyberpunk 2077, specifically the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions. Dedicated Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 ports aren't scheduled until 2021, but the site still got to play the game on those consoles through backwards compatibility. While taking the different versions for a spin, VGC discovered that the Xbox One port includes a few performance tweaks that are absent from the PS4 version. Apparently, the Xbox One copy of Cyberpunk 2077 lets players pick their performance poison, higher resolution, or smoother frame rates. You can't have both on the Xbox One copy, but that's still more that can be said for the PS4 version, which, according to VGC, has no option to sacrifice frame rates to play at higher resolution or vice versa. This lack of PS4 performance options seems almost out of place, since once the PS4 Pro hits store shelves, Sony titles usually ship with the option to prioritize stable frame rates or graphical fidelity. Sure, Cyberpunk 2077 on the PS5 is nothing to sneeze at, since the game defaults to 60 FPS.
But it still hurts. It hurts bad.
Cyberpunk 2077 isn't the only game suffering from this apparent oversight though. VGC pointed out that games such as Star Wars Squadrons and Rocket League also received performance options on the Xbox Series X, while the PS5 ports only have vanilla options. The outlet postulated that the issue lies hard-coded in the console itself, and how it tackles backwards compatibility. After all, a representative of Rocket League developer Psyonix once told Eurogamer that it's easier to turn up resolution on an Xbox Series XS version version thanks to a patch, but doing so on the PS5 would require a full native port due to its different backwards compatibility software. In other words, it's not CD Projekt Red's fault, it's Sony's.
It's not your fault. It's not your fault.
While the true PS5 port of Cyberpunk 2077 will probably include performance options, anyone who wants to buy the game early might want to opt for the Xbox version. Or if you have a PC that can handle Cyberpunk 2077, buy the game through Steam or GOG instead.